We are currently editing more Hometown Murders and Mysteries snapshots for future release, and today our research took us back into one of the darkest parts of Kentucky's legal history: executions. This isn't just a list of dates, it's a look at the communities and systems that shaped our state. Before electrocution, Kentucky executions were carried out by hanging. In earlier Kentucky punishment systems, whipping was also used as a public deterrent, but it should not be confused with an actual execution method. Both were part of a harsher era of justice. By April 1800, that first jail was chosen near Henry Francis's home on Fishing Creek. In those days, Fishing Creek was an economic hub due to its salt deposits. Decades later, it would serve as a logistical barrier during the Battle of Mill Springs. A brick jail was eventually built on the public square in 1820. For much of the 20th century, the Pulaski County Jail was actually located on the top 3 floors of the old courthouse, a unique arrangement that lasted until the current detention center opened in 1989. That history matters because before Kentucky centralized executions, hangings were local events. They were carried out by the county sheriff, often drawing thousands of spectators to the county seat. One of the most sobering facts in our research: Kentucky hasn't executed a woman in over 150 years. The last was a 13-year-old black girl known only as Susan Eliza. She was hanged in 1868 for a crime that few now remember. Even younger was an enslaved 12-year-old boy named Bill. He was hanged in 1791 during the very dawn of Kentucky's statehood, marking one of the youngest executions in the Commonwealth's recorded history. The earliest Pulaski County execution we found in public lists was John Parker. On June 2, 1878, the 19-year-old was hanged for murder, an event that drew a massive, somber crowd to the local gallows. 6 years later, another Pulaski case ended in a judicial hanging. Frank Slagle, a tie cutter by trade, was hanged on March 14, 1884, after being convicted of a violent murder and robbery. Public lists only show judicial hangings, but local history includes more when mob violence is counted, like the 1883 hanging of James Truxtall and the 1891 lynching of James Harvey and Josiah Gilliland following a sheriff's assassination. The era of public hangings eventually gave way to centralized executions. Kentucky transitioned in 1910, but a unique law kept public hangings for certain crimes until 1938, culminating in the 1936 execution of Rainey Bethia in Owensboro. Centralized executions moved to the electric chair, nicknamed Old Sparky. It was housed at the Kentucky State Penitentiary in Eddyville, also known as the Castle on the Cumberland. Completed in 1886, the penitentiary is Kentucky's oldest and most secure. While it opened in 1889, it wasn't until July of 1911 that the electric chair became the state's primary method for executions. The first person to die in Kentucky's chair was James Buckner on July 8, 1911. He was an 18-year-old convicted of killing an officer. His execution was delayed by 30 days just to finish the chair's installation. Kentucky holds a grim national record from July 13, 1928. That day, 7 men were electrocuted one after another, starting at midnight. All 7 were pronounced dead within a span of just 2.5 hours. Between 1911 and 1997, 163 people were electrocuted at Eddyville. The era ended on July 1, 1997, with the execution of Harold McQueen Jr. before the state moved to lethal injection. These heavy stories are a part of our shared history. By looking back, we understand the evolution of our justice system. Hometown Murders and Mysteries is presented for historical and educational purposes. Stay tuned for our next snapshot.